What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is Tuesday, November the 7th. No games today on this NBA schedule. It was election day in the US, so the NBA decided to give us all the day off. Now, since we didn't have any action, any games to talk about, and I did have a little extra time, I decided to make a short little educational video for you guys, give you some very important betting tips. Today, I'm going to talk about the first and most important thing that I do when preparing for this whole handicapping process. A process, of course, that is multifaceted in nature. There are a lot of different elements that we take into account, of course, before coming up with a final decision on which way we're going to go on each game. Now, every handicapper has their own style. They look at a lot of different things. Personally, I have my own daily regimen, things that I look at in a specific order. Of course, like I mentioned, today I'm going to talk about the first thing that I do. In a future video, I will probably do some more, I will probably get into more detail about the whole process. But today, like I said, I'm going to focus on the first thing I do, which I also consider to be the most important. Now, for most of you, those of you that do watch my videos on a daily basis, you will be familiar with what I'm about to say. For those of you watching for the first time, don't worry. This is nothing too complicated. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you guys an example right here. I'm going to show you a clip from yesterday's video. Over here, I'm talking about the San Antonio Spurs against the Pacers. The Pacers were favored by 7.5 points. As you can see below the team logos, the 7.5 points is the odds maker's number. Down below that, the area that I'm going to be focusing on in this video is the line estimate. The minus 5.5 points is the 5.5. I had the Pacers favored by 5.5. This is my line estimate. Of course, I will do this for every single game on the schedule. I will do my line estimate, and I will do this overnight. The reason I do this overnight, I want to have my line estimate ready before I see the actual line. This way, I'm not influenced by knowing the actual number. Guys, I've been doing this for over 20 years now. I've been doing this for over 20 years. My line estimates are usually very close to the number. I might be maybe half a point, 1 point off for the normal games. Now, if I see a big difference, my line estimate with the actual line, it'll start getting me thinking. For example, the game that I just showed you, the San Antonio Spurs against the Pacers. How did I come up with my number, and how do I use these numbers to my advantage? The Spurs, they had won 2 out of their last 3 games. Overall, they are uptrending. Victor Wembanyama, we know the whole hype around him. Now, the Pacers, a very inconsistent ball club, 500 at best. In their last game, they lost to the Charlotte Hornets. So taking all that into consideration, I figured a fair number would be 5.5 points. The Pacers favored by 5.5. When I saw the 7.5 point number, the first thing that came to my mind was the line is inflated. It is very high. What are the reasons behind this line? So I have to dig a little deeper. Usually the first thing I'll do is I'll look at the injury report. When I look at the injury report, I want to see if there are any new players added to the list. If there are no new players on the injury report, then the game is all the information that we have. That's the reason why the number came out the way it is. Now, we have to keep in mind, guys, we have to think to ourselves, who is on the other side of our action? On the other side of our action, guys, are billion-dollar corporations that have insiders. They have scouts. They have access to coaches. They have access to referees. They have access to the league. When they're handling billions of dollars back and forth, they don't leave things to chance. This is one thing that we do have to accept and have in our mind. And we also have to accept the fact that we don't have access to the same information that they do. The only thing we can do is look at the numbers and interpret them the best way that we can. Now, the 7.5 points, guys, obviously for that game was high. Just think to yourself, usually I preach to keep your emotions away from your betting. This is the only time I encourage you to use your emotions. When looking at the lines, I want you to ask yourselves, how does this line make you feel? Personally, when I looked at the 7.5 point line, the first thing I thought was the line is very high. So, guys, what are they doing? What are the bookmakers doing? In this instance, how do I see them? How do I see this thing playing out? They are looking for action to take on this. They're trying to give you as many points as they can so you can take the San Antonio Spurs thinking you are getting value. when in most cases, guys, more times than not, you are going to be on the wrong side of the stick. In this case, guys, we know the Indiana Pacers blew out the Spurs. They won that game by 40, giving us the answer as to why the Pacers were favored by that many points. Now, how do they know these things? I don't know. I don't know, guys. Just this is just what I see over the years, seeing playing over and over. This is one of my basic strategies, and this is the reason why I have why I do my line estimates. If you guys are wondering why I actually put them on the cards when I do my videos. This is something that you guys need to keep in mind, and I encourage you to do the same. Look at the schedule for the next day overnight. Do your own line estimates and compare it to the actual line. Then ask yourselves, how do you feel? Do you think it's a lot of points? They're not a lot of points. And then just check the results. Track the results and see if you see any value in this betting tip. Personally, guys, I've been using this. It has worked it does work at a pretty high clip. You'll see in my daily videos how I use these numbers, and usually more times than not you'll see the games working in our favor. Anyways, guys, this is my betting tip of the day. I hope I articulated it as best as I could. I hope you understood what the point that I tried to get across, and I hope this helps you in your betting. I will do more videos, like I said, in the future with more betting tips. I hope you enjoyed this one. Track it, guys. I think it is very interesting. And that's it. See you guys in the next video. Tomorrow we're going to have a big schedule. Back in action once again. Have a good night, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Later.